Are you juggling family, work, and a million other responsibilities while you're trying to grow your YouTube channel? Or maybe you're staring at hours of raw footage and you're wondering to yourself, how are you going to find all the time to edit out all the ums, ahs, and all the mistakes that you've made while filming? Oh, and what about the awkward pauses? Yeah, guilty over here. Editing can feel like a full-time job, believe me, if you've done any YouTube videos at any point in time. As you're here trying to build your personal brand, trying to build a business, then you get it and you know that the editing process can be pretty exhausting. But it doesn't have to be. Let's be honest, in today's content creation world, brand building world, in these digital streets, content creation is king. And not just content creation, quantity is king, or queen, as we like to say over here. In fact, recent studies show that creators who post more frequently see a 30% to 40%, hold the phone, 30% to 40% boost in channel growth compared to those who focus solely on high production quality. Yeah, so again, how frequently you are showing up here online on YouTube, posting your content, it matters. It affects the ROI on your business and on your brand building. What are we gonna do? For us real folks out here who are trying to create content and also juggle a career and also have a life and also all the things, well, that's where today's tool comes in. Gling is your new editing sidekick that will save you time and energy. It uses AI, of course it does. It uses AI to detect and remove filler words, pauses, dead air, all the mistakes from your footage. It will get rid of that in minutes. So you can focus on what you do best, which is creating value and growing your brand. Time saved means more time that you can use to plan for your next big project or take a well-deserved break from content creation if that's where you are right now. Did I get you curious? All right, then ready, set, let's go.
Hey there, I'm Renee from Raw Branded, and I help aspiring entrepreneurs to identify and package their unique story and genius into an authentic brand and business that attracts their soulmate clients.
Hey there, my beautiful souls. I hope you're taking care and doing well. You've got your script and it's related to your niche and how you want to show up here on YouTube. I'm going to walk you through all of the steps of creating a video using Gling. And if you're interested in signing up for Gling, I have an affiliate link that's linked below so you can easily get started. Just click on that link. Once again, it's down below. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to download the Gling software. So you want to go to their website. By the way, if you hear anything, it's because cleaning is taking place around me, so there's a lot of chaos going on, but I have my trusty shotgun mic here, so hopefully you hear me. So go to the Gling website. If you have explored Gling before, you will sign in, but this is the first time you're using this, so sign up for Gling through the browser. You can also install the app. So I'm going to edit this using the app just so you can see what that experience is like. The next thing we're going to do is upload your raw footage onto Gling. So locate your file. I'm going to pull up a snippet that was used in my last video so you can see. This is the raw footage of what that video initially started as. So this was my introduction. Let's hear it.
So what if I told you that your dream $5,000 luxury bag was made in the same Chinese factory as a $50 knockoff? What if I told you that your dream?
Those days happen when you're trying to get your message across and for some reason you just can't speak and the words won't come out. And then you have clips like that. You have the ums, the ahs, all of that messed up footage. The potential is there. The information's there. It's just scattered. As real and raw as it is, it's distracting. Let's clean it up. It's also still authentic but clean. I just dragged that footage into Gling, and you can see right here, I'm sorry, this so you can see, this is where you're going to name your project, right? So I'm going to name it Intro. I usually save it as something like Gling, so I know that it's edited using the software. Name it whatever your file, your video is, and then save it as a Gling file. I like to do that, so it helps me to know what footage I'm working on. And you can see the file is there. It's almost 5 minutes, and then we continue here. You can see it visually. You choose your language. I'm choosing English. There are several options there depending on what language you're making your video in. again, I'm going with the English and we're going to continue. So this is where Gling gives you all these amazing options on editing your video. So you can cut the silences, which I always leave checked. Okay. So you have the dead air gone. Cut the bad takes like the ones you just saw. Remove the filler words, any that don't make sense. I usually go back in and I will leave some of that in because it's part of my intonation. It's part of the way in which I'm expressing myself. It actually serves a purpose when I'm going, I don't think so. That actually needs to be in there. And sometimes Gling will cut it out and then it doesn't flow. So you really want to pay attention to flow as you're editing, right? It's not just hard, fast choppiness. Speaking of which, I skipped the add the smart captions because I don't need it for what I'm doing, but you could do that if you wanted to. I uncheck like and subscribe button because I don't want it randomly popping up. I like to manually get into the editor and indicate where I would like to give a prompt for you guys to like and subscribe. You can go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can keep following tutorials and information on personal branding like this video right here. So do that. You can add jump cuts. So Gling will manually do these panning and zooming effects. I pay attention to the rhythm and the flow of your video. So I don't click that here. I do that in my next editing software, whether it's Camtasia, Premiere Pro, Final Cut, CapCut, whatever you're using. I would recommend doing it there so that it's paced well and you're having the zoom and the cuts where you want them to be, where it makes sense. I do click enhance audio. I like this effect because without it, I'll show you what your video sounds like with and without the enhanced audio. It just basically cleans up any of the background noise like you're probably hearing right now, the cleaning taking place, and it just zooms in, focuses on your audio, and it's enhanced. Your audio is clean. Definitely click on that. AI background, I don't need that. It's fine. I don't add anything else. You could go on ahead and add any other options. I like to do that and then just click enhance and hit edit and let Gling do its thing. This bad boy is gonna clean things up. I love these little reminders too. If the cuts feel too fast, you can control the video's pacing with the padding feature, and I'll show you that. You can, increase and decrease the padding to increase or slow things down. Like, you ever see videos and it's the style of the creator. Sometimes it's just like boom, boom, chop, chop. I like to give some breathing room between my points so you can process it, because I do put out educational content and sometimes you just need a minute to just think. And I'm not the fastest talker naturally, so I like to keep the pace in the way in which I teach without it being too long where it's like, get to the point. Okay, so you can control that. So right now, Gling is transcribing that video. It's almost there. So once your video is cleaned up by Gling, this is what you're going to get, which is an amazing, pretty simple platform, pretty intuitive. You can pull up files here. You can just edit the script. The script is on the left. This is everything that you've said. You can see the strike throughs from where they clipped footage where it didn't make any sense. Why? Because Gling is going to assess your whole footage and see, out of all the mistakes and everything you've said, the AI is recommending this is the best footage, especially when you've said things multiple times. AI is basically telling you, out of the 3 times you said that introduction, like you saw that I said, this one version is the best version for you to use. That's what it's doing. And it's basically stitching and cutting and doing the editing for you. So helpful. And then the great thing about this is visually, you can then go through and see, did AI cut some points that you wanted in the video and that was accidental? Okay. You can always bring that back. Like, if this wasn't mentioned, I could highlight this information, click on this, and then say correct, and it would cut that point. Or I can go in and change the wording if I needed captions. I'm not worried about that because I'm not doing captions. But to bring it back to life, I can then click on the scissor icon and it will uncut that. But because I said it twice, I don't need this. I'm going to go back in and just cut that line. That's it. Pretty simple. So even just reading this, I can jump down and just say, okay, that was a correct line. What if I, what if I told you your dream luxury brand
was made in the same factory, Chinese factory as a cut it. I repeated it twice. This was the correct or the best version according to AI. These are other options. If I wanted to, I can go in and watch those options, but I'm going to tell you, save yourself the headache and the time over analyzing and begging to differ with it, that this is the best clip. So one of the things I noticed, like I always say in the intro, ready, set, let's go. Okay, it did not cut that out, but let's see how it sounds. Sometimes it awkwardly does a cut and then I have to go in. You still need some human perspective, which is part of the process, and it's good. Right now, the breathing space, I was saying, the buffer between the clips, it's at 1 times. I like that. You can speed it up or slow it down. I think, about at 1x, that's a good pacing that I like for my videos. Now, just like your typical editor, you can go ahead and split the clips. We can move our arrow, place it right over here, and that would split the clips, and then I can pick it up like any editor and move it around on the track. Now, the other thing you'll see is pace. And when you adjust the pacing, you can add more space between any silent pauses. So the other thing is you will see this little magic wand icon here, and that's just indicating that the clip is enhanced, which is what we did. We selected that as an option. So let me just show you what it sounds like with it enhanced.
Your $2,000 luxury bag was made in the same Chinese factory as a $50.
All right, pause. Take that in, right? You heard what the audio sounds like. Now let me go back. I'm going to take this back a little bit, and I'm going to play it back for you again. And now listen to the difference.
What if I told you that your dream $5,000 luxury bag was made
Pause.
in the same
Probably
factory?
can't hear too much of the difference right now, because if you have on your headphones, you probably hear it a lot clearer if you're listening to this video with any earbuds on. But there is a difference. And if you want to go back and then turn that back on, which I would definitely recommend that you do, you can just click on a little magic wand icon and shuffle that back on, and you can just hover and see that that's been turned on. So then after you've done all of this, you've done the editing, you adjusted the clips, maybe you play it a little bit and you realize, oh, it cut it off too soon. And I told you, you can go in, either make the adjustments via text, or you can pull along the timeline and extend the clip. If I'm happy with all of this, then I would just hightail it to the top over here and just hit export. I would want to export this as an MP4 file, so I would go ahead and do that. Gling ensures that the final file is in a high resolution, so you don't have to worry about the quality being compromised. Again, in minutes, you're done and you're ready to go. So this is why I highly recommend Gling, because it makes it that simple. It really does.
So as I was using Gling, one of the things I noticed is that I kept coming up with an audio issue. Meaning, once I had the final product via Gling, the cleanup version of the raw footage, I would then play it on my computer and no audio was playing. And I couldn't figure out what is going on. And then I just reached out to the team over at Gling, and you probably see right in here their response. And I appreciate the quick response. That's very telling of a brand. And they explained to me that Gling produces Opus audio files, which I realized that's what was being outputted and why it wasn't playing on my Windows Media Player. They use Opus audio files in case the OS doesn't support AAC encoding. So that's what's going on there. But they did say, as you can read, this is something we improved in one of the latest updates. They explained that. It uses Opus much less. The latest version, as of right now, is version 1.47.12. So you can upgrade the version. If you're downloading this for the first time, you'll have the latest version. And it has some fixes for the audio issues, as Team Gling has explained so graciously. Thank you. And then the other thing that I mentioned to Team Gling is that I noticed that as I'm producing videos, that my clips are disappearing. They weren't saving in the platform. And what they explained to me again is that if you're doing any personal data cleanup, the files will go away. So minor things to keep in mind, especially if you have an old laptop like mine. Mine is old. If you do need a workaround, and again, the team at Gling and Google explained to me is that you can just download Handbrake, pull your Gling files into that, change the audio from an Opus audio into, make sure you're producing it as an MP4 file, and then produce it that way. It converts the file, and then you've got cleaned up raw footage to play with. Yes, a few more steps, but it will still save you time. Get over this hump. Use Gling. Save your time. The link is below. You can now quickly and continuously and consistently build your YouTube library. Now, if you're wondering, how do I build a business and brand that truly lights up my soul and allows me to build a personal brand while attracting my soulmate clients, then I want to introduce you to The Product Is You.
In The Product Is You, you'll learn how to create an authentic brand and business that will allow you to attract your ideal clients. We walk through the whole process of validating your offer, creating your authentic brand, setting up content creation and marketing strategies to attract your soulmate clients, and ultimately creating an authentic and profitable business that feels good to you and your clients. We go through the whole process step by step by step. Once again, the link for more information is down below, so check that out.
So let me know in the comments, what is the biggest time drain, the biggest time suck in your video editing process? Is it the jazzing it up so that it matches your personal brand? Let's chat below because I feel your pain. Shout out to all the video editors out there who help us out along this process. I'll talk more about that later. Yeah, I want to know what's holding you back right now. Where are you experiencing the most pain when it comes to video editing? And if you like this video, then like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can keep seeing videos like this one in your feed. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.